Welcome back again. So today let us move on to another very important part in biostatistics, that is probability distributions. So in the last class we discussed about the probability, what are the various concepts, history, and also the theorems coming under probability and its applications. So now let us move on to another very important part related to probability, that is probability distributions. We know in our last classes we studied the frequencies, observed frequency distributions, that is in the chapter diagrammatic and graphic representation, as well as in measures of center tendency. There all the distributions are derived, they are based on observations and experimentation. You know the examples like frequency distribution of number of pods per plant, plant height, number of tillers, etc. How you derived these frequency distribution? It's only by our observation. So based on the observations and experimentations, we derived the frequency distribution. Okay, but now it is possible to devise mathematically the frequency distribution. Not in all cases. In some cases we can devise mathematically the frequency distribution of population. Such distributions are called probability distribution or theoretical distribution. Okay, I hope you understood. That is, we can mathematically devise frequency distribution of a population without experimentation or observation. Not in all cases, but in certain cases only. This is known as probability distribution or theoretical distribution. Okay, so in this chapter you will study what are the different types of probability distributions and its applications. Okay, let us see one by one. So what are the various types of probability distribution? So it is broadly classified into discrete probability distributions and a continuous probability distribution. You know what is discrete distribution and what is continuous distribution. So again, in the discrete probability distribution, there are two types, that is binomial and Poisson distribution. Okay, binomial and Poisson distribution coming under discrete probability distribution. And from the continuous probability distribution, there is only one type, that is normal distribution. So this is a simple classification regarding probability distribution. Okay, so let us look on one by one. First one is that discrete distribution. So what is the basic idea regarding discrete distribution? You know, the variable can take only limited number of values. Example, number of heads in 2 tosses. So variable can take only limited number of values. That is what known as the discrete distribution. Then what about continuous? Probability that variable can take any value. Example, height of students in the class. So height of students in the class, there are different values you will get. But when you toss coin, number of heads in 2 tosses, that only a limited number you will get. Okay, so it can take limited number in discrete, but it can take any value, variable can take any value, that is continuous distribution. So under discrete, there are two type of probability distribution. What are they? Once more, binomial and Poisson. What about continuous distribution? There is only one type, that is normal distribution. Okay, so first one is binomial distribution. So it is a widely used probability distribution, and this is also known as Bernoulli's distribution because it was first introduced by the Swiss mathematician J. Bernoulli. You may be heard about Bernoulli trial. It's very important, and Bernoulli is a well-known mathematician. And in 1654 to 1705, that time he introduced this introduced this method of Bernoulli, that is Bernoulli distribution. There is a Bernoulli process or a trial, that is Bernoulli trial. You know what is trial in probability? Number of how many times we are doing the experiment, that is our trial. So this is known as Bernoulli's trial. This is one where an experiment can result in only one or two mutually exclusive outcomes. So it is an experiment, it can result in one or two mutually exclusive outcome. For example, success or failure, male or female. Clear? Dead or alive. So in that trial you will get only one or two mutually exclusive outcome. That is Bernoulli's trial. So binomial distribution describes the distribution of probability. Clear? Where there is only two possible outcome for each trait of the experiment. So this is the probability distribution of probability where two possible outcome for each trial. Two possible outcome. Okay. So there is a fixed number of n trials carried. So number of times you are carried out the experiment or trial, that is fixed number, that is n. Okay. So in each trial you will get the result, possible outcome. Only one or two mutually exclusive outcome. Okay. So that is about Bernoulli's trial. Okay. So this was introduced by Bernoulli. It is actually based on the process known as Bernoulli's trial. Bernoulli's trial is an experiment that result only in one or two mutually exclusive outcome, and there is a fixed number of trial, that is n number of trial. Okay. Then how it derive it mathematically? Let us see. So binomial distribution expresses the probability of one set of alternative. If it is success, that is represented as P, failure, that is represented as Q. Okay. Example, when a coin tossed, probability of obtaining head is half the chance, that of tail is half the chance. You know that equation we studied, that is P plus Q equal to 1. So binomial is P plus Q whole square. Means what? How many times you put the trial, that is the whole square. Square indicated to indicate. Or P plus Q whole raised to n, means n is the number of trials the experiment processed. Clear? So P plus Q whole square. Now if two coins tossed simultaneously, see what will be the result. So if two coins tossed simultaneously, there are different chances. See, first coin, that is the chance of getting head. That same time second coin, chance of getting tail. Clear? In this column you can see it's clear. First coin, chance of getting head. Second coin, chance of getting tail. You know what is that probability? Okay. Then probability is the success. See, P into P, P square. Then here you can see, so there is a small mistake. Actually this is here, you have to write H. Clear? In the first and in the second coin you have to get what? You have to get a, wait 1 minute. What is required here? This is wrong. So wrong. So what is needed here is H. Understood? Okay. So in the first coin you will get head, second coin you will get head, then P into P, that is P square. Clear? Then in the second time, first coin H, second coin T, so P into Q, that is PQ. Then same here, Q into P, that is again QP. So PQ plus QP is 2PQ. Then the last chance both getting tail, that is Q square. So this is another method. Here trial, here you can derive an equation, that is P square plus 2PQ plus Q square, that is P plus Q whole square. Clear? So binomial expansion is P plus Q whole square, that is P square plus 2PQ plus Q square. Clear? So this is how it is derived mathematically. Okay. Now let us see. The expansion of P plus Q whole square is called binomial expansion. This probability is known as, theory distribution is known as binomial distribution. Clear? Now different values of n, that is P plus Q whole raised to n. This is whole raised to n. Read like this: P plus Q whole raised to n. That is received. Means how many times you are going to trial that. It is done by, and it is very easy to obtain. There is an already prepared chart that is known as Pascal's triangle. By looking into that triangle, you can derive this very easily. See, this is the Pascal's triangle. So see, first thing P plus Q. P plus Q. Second one, P square plus 2PQ plus Q square. Clear? How you will get this? See, 1, you write 1 here. 1 plus 2, 3 here. 1 plus 2, 3 here. Again 1. Then what about the next one? See, 1, right? 1 plus 3, 4. 3 plus 3, 6. 3 plus 1, 4. Again 1. Then next one, 1 first. 1 plus 4, 5. 4 plus 6, 10. 6 plus 4, 10. Then 4 plus 1, 5. Last one. So like this you can prepare a triangle. This is known as Pascal's triangle. Clear? So this is P plus Q. This is P plus Q whole square. This is P plus Q whole cube. P plus Q raised to 4. Likewise it is coming. So you will get the coefficient of each value. So likewise you can prepare it. That is Pascal's triangle. Clear? Okay. So that's all about binomial distribution. So in brief, what is binomial distribution? It's a widely used distribution. It is known as Bernoulli distribution because it is based on Bernoulli's trial or process. So probability 1 or 2 mutually exclusive outcome only. There is only 2 possible outcomes, and there is a binomial expansion that's mathematically derived very easily by using Pascal's triangle. Clear? Okay. Now let us move on to the next distribution, that is known as Poisson distribution. Okay, this is a very important probability distribution. Here there is a large number of trial. Trial is large numbers but small probability of success. Clear? So in the binomial calculation it is difficult. It is impractical. When trial is more but you will get success only in very few cases. That is the case. Okay, in that case we cannot use binomial distribution. Such cases we use what? This Poisson distribution. So this is applicable when number of trial is high but probability of success is very less. And this is first developed by S.D. Poisson. The name of the scientist is S.D. Poisson. That's why known as Poisson distribution. This is a discrete probability distribution and it is widely used in physical and social sciences. Understood? Okay. And this distribution is mainly for rare events. Rare events. Common in science, some examples. For example of rare events like emission of particles from radioactive source. Then persons dying due to rare diseases. Then another common example, the number of mistakes that a good typist committing. So likewise, so these are very rare events. So you know, sickle cell anemia, rare disease, hemophilia. So number of persons dying, when you take thousands or 2000, there's 1 or 2 dying due to that. So that success is very, very less, but trial is more. In such cases, we will apply Poisson distribution. Understood? Okay. It is applied in cases where P is very small. You know what is P? Success. That is very small. Number of trial is very large. N is very large. Okay. So probability P of success for every trial is very small. Clear? NP, that this is the equation. NP is a fixed number. That is known as Poisson distribution. NP is a fixed number known as Poisson distribution. And it has a single parameter that is denoted as M. So NP equal to M, that is a constant, that is a mathematical derivation. Okay, so Poisson distribution. Trial N is very large but probability P of success is very small. So NP equal to M, that's constant. Understood? Okay. Now, so that's all about Poisson distribution. Very, very simple one applied in cases where trial is very large but success is very less. It is developed by S.D. Poisson and it is the probability of rare events, studying probability of rare events in physical and social sciences. Number of trial is very large, that is N is large, P of success very small, so NP is a constant equal to M. Okay, understood? Now, normal distribution. This is another very important distribution. I already told you this is a continuous variable. Now this is applied for continuous variable and probability distribution. The random variable can take any value within a given range. Example, height, weight, mark, etc. Okay, this was first discovered by the scientist, namely De Moivre. But before that, it is developed in 18th century by mathematician and astronomer Carl Gauss. So this is also known as Gaussian distribution. Clear? So Gaussian distribution is also known as normal distribution. It is useful in the analysis of agriculture and biological data, and it play an important role in making inferences regarding value of the population. Okay, we can derive value of population mean from sample mean. That's its important significant. Value of population mean from sample gives. So distribution of, it gives an idea about the distribution of items in a sample of the population. So it gives a clear-cut idea regarding distribution of items in a sample of the population. So in large sample size, analysis of data usually show a peak of curve. So this is a very commonly used probability distribution. You can represent this graphically. So when you represent the distribution graphically, so you can see a peak of the curve with items distributed evenly on either side of the peak. Okay, and that graph is look like a smooth curve with items distributed on both sides of the peak. So that items can take any value, any value. That is why it is a continuous distribution applied in our normal life, and it will get smooth curve, items distributed on both sides of the peak. Okay, and this curve is having some important statistical property, and that is the normal distribution curve. Okay, so the curve is having some statistical property. That curve is known as normal distribution curve. Okay, so we can derive or we can assess or we can predict or inference about population from the sample mean. Clear? Population mean from the sample mean. So in this session, it is very important to study the property of normal distribution curve. Usually for examination, this question will ask properties of normal distribution curve. Let us check. So this normal distribution curve is a symmetrical curve. Now you know what is symmetrical curve. So there is a central point at the peak. Both sides it is values are distributed equally on both sides. That is symmetrical. And it is bell shaped. You know what is bell? Bell shaped. Unimodal. What is unimodal? One peak with one mode at the top. We already studied in the graphical representation. If there is mode is usually at the frequency, highest frequency. That is a high peak of the curve. Okay. So there is only one mode. Then it is symmetrical. So mean, median and mode all coincide in that same peak at the point. Mean, median and mode are same. Okay. Then this ordinate divides the curve into two equal properties. So ordinate is a center part divides the curve. Then another very important point regarding that curve is the tails are asymptotic. What do you mean by the term asymptotic? Means the both end of the tail never touches the baseline. Okay. Curve goes to infinity without touching the horizontal axis. Okay, clear? So I will show you. See, this is the curve. See, this is the perfect symmetrical curve. Why it is known as perfect symmetry? Both sides are equally distributed. This is the peak. That peak, the ordinate. This is the O. Ordinate divides the peak, divides the curve into two equal parts, and items are distributed equally on both sides. Here, mean, median, and mode same value. Understood? Then see the tail of the curve. This is a tail of the curve. Clear? Tail of the curve moving to the horizontal axis. It never touches the baseline. This is the baseline. It never touches the baseline. It goes on infinite. Clear? It goes on infinite on both sides. Clear? That is the important property known as the curve is asymptotic. The tail are asymptotic. Now, height of the curve declines on either side of the peak. I already told you that. then total area under the curve is considered as 1, that is 100%. Okay, so I hope you understood that that features. The normal distribution curve is bell-shaped curve, symmetrical curve, unimodal, single mode, and one peak, mean median mode, same value, ordinate divides into two equal halves, then tails are asymptotic, goes on infinity. Clear? Okay. Now let us move on to next feature. This is the entire curve is 100%. I already told you what is equal to 1. Area equal to 100%. 50% this side, 50% that side. Okay. Then area under the curve based on standard deviation. You didn't study that portion, that I will teach you. What is standard deviation? This is coming under the measures of dispersion. So you already studied the measures of central tendency. In that you studied mean, median, mode, etc. That is, values are concentrated around a central value. Okay. So now what is measures of dispersion means? From the central value, how the values are, how much far or they are away from the central value. Okay. So you got a mean. From the mean, from the other values, what about the dispersion status, how much they are dispersed from the central value. That is the measures of dispersion. So one very important measure of dispersion is standard deviation. Okay. So here in the area under the curve is described based on that. The mean plus or minus 1 standard deviation cover 68% of the area under the curve. So 68% of the area under the curve is having plus or minus 1 standard deviation. Clear? Then 95.5% having plus or minus 2 standard deviation. Both sides, that's why we are considering plus and minus. Okay. Then 99.7% is lies in plus or minus 3 standard deviation. You will be clear by looking into this image. See. So this is that diagram. See, when you divide this like this. Okay. So maximum value is in between this. This is 68% of the data here. Then 95% of data here. 99.7% data here. So see, this is the standard deviation 1 plus 1. This is a standard deviation minus 1. So see, 68% of data in between plus 1 and minus 1 standard deviation. See, 68% of data in between plus 1 and a minus 1 standard deviation. Understood? 95% of data, see, from here to from here, this line, in between plus 2 and minus 2 standard deviation. Understood? Then 85%, sorry. Then 99.7% data is in between minus 3 and plus 3 standard deviation. So this is how it is described statistically based on the measures of dispersion standard deviation. Okay. So I hope you understood well that normal distribution. This is a commonly occurring that variable can take any value and there is no limit, and this is universally applied one, and what are the that is represented in the graph. That graph is known as normal distribution curve. What are the properties of normal distribution curve? From this portion, that is very, very important. What are the properties of normal distribution curve? Okay. So I hope you understood well. So only this much about probability distribution. So what is probability distribution? That is mathematically derived or reduced distribution pattern. That is probability distribution. Here we are not dealing with the observations. Clear? And there are three types: binomial, Poisson and normal distribution. Okay. So try to differentiate between binomial, Poisson, binomial, normal, Poisson, normal. Likewise, you have to try to differentiate between them. Study the features of each type of distribution, and also if there is an equation, you have to also study that, and the important properties of normal distribution curve. That's very, very important one, usually repeated question in the examination, normal distribution curve. Okay. So that's all for today. So have a nice day. Thank you.